everyone, welcome back to the Diamond Rose Show. In my installment of Ask Diamond, I told y'all I was going to make another one, and here we are. I'm here with my friend Gil, who's munching on nachos, because I made nachos, and better known as Beans' dad, but he's going to help me answer some of these questions. These are from last month, so if you are like, bitch, I just sent you a question, I have 40 questions I have not answered because I had a slight depression because Onyx left. It's not Joe's fault, that's my fault. I'm going to try to get better. So, we're going to go ahead and start. I'm guessing I wouldn't label these questions as sexy. Some are weird, and some are political. So, just brace yourself. Alright, we're going to go ahead and begin. So, the first question comes from Sad and Horny. Me too, bitch. No.
Was it you?
No! Okay. My boyfriend is bi and has asked to have a threesome with me and another guy. Is it weird that I think he's cheating on me with this guy? They apparently know each other already. So, I'm not sure.
I think it'd be a little weird if they've already made plans to want to bang and didn't include you in that beforehand.
It's kind of like being invited to a party when everyone's in the room and they're like, yeah we're going to do this. Oh, I forgot.
Third party by your own partner. Damn.
Yeah, and I guess we don't have enough context for this question, but if it was something where like your boyfriend just came out to you and was like, hey, I'm bi, I would like to have, a threesome with this and this guy, then I may be a little iffy if I was like, what? But if it's something you already knew, I don't know. There's still, I think the best thing to do is like to ask. It's like, hey, has there already been something established here? Should I be worried?
Yeah, well, you bring up a good point. Like, if your partner just came out and then said, I had this guy here, I mean, without having any context, you can draw many conclusions.
You really
could
can.
Know each other this whole time, and then you might want to talk. Either way, you need to talk.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a communication thing. And for any threesome, you have to consider who the guest star is. And you seem to be the guest star.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as oddly enough as it may be that the additional guy may be the guest star, I feel like in this situation, you may be the guest star. So that may be a question to also ask, like, are we about to, is someone gonna be left out?
Mm-hmm.
And those are my chinchillas, by the way, as you know. They're always loud. So, I don't know, Sad and Horny.
Good luck.
Good luck. That's all we can say. Good luck. All right. On to the next one. From You Know Who. Is it weird that I jerk it to your videos? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who you are. And even if I did know who you are.
You know who.
I don't know who it is. I really don't.
But you know.
And their email address didn't even have, how most of our email addresses now have our names in it of some sort. It was just something like Ghost Killer 00. I'm like, bitch, who the fuck are you? So I don't know who you are. But I think it's weird because I don't think I talk about subjects that one would jerk it to.
I think it's even weirder that you're asking for Diamond's permission or validation. It's like...
It's weird. It's like right now, I hope you're not jerking it to the fact that I'm answering this question. Let's just continue.
That's...
You freaked me out. Alright, for number 3, from Diamond Fan, have you ever met the porn star Diamond Jackson?
Have you?
I have not, but I think it would be fun. Not in the sense that I'm going to do a show with her or something, but I think it would be fun just something silly because we both share the same name. She's Diamond Jackson, I'm Diamond Jackson, and I keep getting emails from her fans who I made a whole video. That's how my whole channel started, was me making a video about this. I think it would be fun, and I think it'd be interesting, just do one of those silly things where we're standing by each other. It's like, one of us is a porn star. One of us has a degree. Well, no, 2 of us have a degree, because she has a degree. She has a bachelor's in, I think, physical therapy. Yeah, I researched that woman, all the way, because I was like, similarities. But do something silly like that, and then, or do something like, let's switch our jobs for a day. And she goes, sits in an office. I arrive on a set like,
I was even thinking you could redo your first episode, but have her do it, and then everyone be like, "Wait, what?"
And like, oh my god, like she does the same thing I did, except for changes to my pictures. I'm not the YouTuber Diamond Jackson.
Do it.
Diamond Jackson, the porn star. If you see this, email me.
Mm-hmm.
Email me, girl. Come through. Great. All right. From Daisy Dick Hunter, which sounds like a porn name.
Yeah.
You know. How do I tell my girlfriend I'm craving dick? I'm a lesbian. You got some.
Say you're my girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
I'm craving dick. I don't know. I think you would have to.
Well, I don't have what you. Oh gosh. Yeah. And that might be awkward to say. Like.
Well, it depends on your sexuality too. Is this like you coming out to your partner, or is this you've already come out to your partner, or you're questioning? I think there's a lot at play. I think either way, you know, finding that time and place to be with your partner to say, hey, like, this is going through my head right now. This is where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think as a partner, maybe something will come of that in terms of like, some sort of support, validation, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of big talk in those questions, but
mm-hmm.
I can see where it could work out, you know, where it depends on the communication too, where, okay, you know, maybe you just need some dick, and it may be like literal dick, or, you know, if you are cool with communicating that, or if it's something like, you know, she's going to freak out if I say this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think this is just one of those things where you gotta lay your dick out on the table, or lack thereof, and tell them, hey, I need some dick. And you don't have one. So what are we gonna do? You might want to call the people in the first question.
God.
I don't know how that's gonna help, but yeah, I think that's something you just gotta have to straight out say, because if you cheat on your significant other, regardless, like, it's cheating, even if you're lesbian, you have sex with a man, it's cheating regardless. So you don't want to end up in that situation, and especially if it's like a dick craving that, you know, continues. And you're like, your girlfriend's gonna start to notice if you're like,
I'd be curious to figure out if it's coming from just a one-time thing, or if it's just maybe filling in a gap, filling a literal gap, and some sort of design. I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay. If it was me, and you're coming to me, and you're like, hey, Diamond, I need some dick. Just in my mindset now, if I was a lesbian, I'd probably be like, okay, you know, me too. Just gonna be real with you. So you go do a hookup with some guy, wear protection, like have him wear protection, you know, whatever. Get what you need to get, and come back to me. Because, like, I know, especially with sexual cravings like that, craving sounds so weird, but I'm gonna just use what?
Desire.
Her vocabulary was good craving, so I'm gonna
Sure.
use craving. With sexual cravings like that, I guess, after a while, it might start to tear at your, like, daily life. Like, you get aggravated over stupid shit because you're like, I want this! And I think it's just something you two need to talk about. Like, just lay it on her. And tell me about it. Email me in case something else happens.
Well, I would say lay it on the partner if that's something that you want to pursue.
Yeah.
But if it's something you're just thinking at the moment, it's like process it for a bit. If you don't act upon it, maybe give some time and then bring it up when you're not wanting to crave dick, so it's easier to have that conversation with your partner.
Yeah, because some stuff is a fluke. Like, you could be craving dick today and wake up the next morning, you're like, oh, that was weird. You ever have weird crave? Like recently, I craved Taco Bell. I haven't had Taco Bell in over a year, and it was just weird. And I had it today. They got my order wrong. I wanted chicken chalupa. They gave me beef. Anyway, so yeah, I go with what Gil is saying. Take some time, and if this is something, unless this is something that's been going on for a long time, where you're like, I wake up every day and I'm like, dick, then that may be something you need to address accordingly. Good luck. Daisy Dick Hunter. So fucking name. All right, and number 5 from BLM. I see you. I found out my boyfriend voted for Trump. I'm a black woman and he's a white male. When I talk to him about it, we always fight. What should I do? My sister. Let me tell you something. So, for me, it wasn't a boyfriend, but it was a really, really close friend of mine. And we're still friends, but I didn't find out he voted for Trump. His grandparents outed him while we were visiting. And it was something because Hillary was on the TV and his grandparents said something offhanded. And then they asked me who I voted for, and I was like, I voted for Hillary. And his grandparents were like, well, this is a Trump house. And I'm like, the whole house? And I look over at my friend, and it was kind of like slow motion because he heard his grandpa said it. And then I hear it. And we literally just link eyes. And I didn't do anything. I just chuckled because I'm not about to beat this man down in front of his parents and his grandparents who I just met.
Do it.
Just like, fuck you! So it did result in us having a very heated debate and a conversation about his ethics and his overall value for, the American people. And I'm not a patriot whatsoever, but I did find myself being have very anxious feelings regarding his, overall values. I'm like, so when he said this, what did you think? Mm-hmm. And it was like, well, that's what men say. And I'm like, so you're okay with it? And it divulged into this whole conversation about, rape culture, about the patriarchy. And then I found out that my friend, basically, he told me, if it doesn't actually involve him, he doesn't care.
What?
Yes. And
you should, because it will indirectly involve you.
Yes.
Indirectly in some sense. Because you're voting for them.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, and his whole debate was like, well, I picked the lesser of two evils, and I'm like, debatable. But as a black woman, I had to actually, because this was a man that I was like, hey, long term, I can see myself being with him. I can no longer see that happening. Because I would like to teach my children in the future to be compassionate, regardless if, the person's race, gender, creed, their nationality. Compassion should be innate. And for him, if it doesn't directly affect him or people he loves, he doesn't care.
And you're saying that's a lack of compassion.
That is a huge lack of compassion. And that's just, my advice to you would be, let's think about future endeavors. Is this a man, based on what he's told you and based on your fights and based on his reasoning, is this a man that you can see building a family with? Is this someone you're going to be proud to walk down the street with if, let's say, President Trump is elected for another 4 years? Is this someone you're going to be wanting to be associated with once your friends and family find out he voted for Trump? Because I know when I told my mother and my father that my friend voted for Trump, they were like, you need to cut him off. And for a long time, I really debated it and whatnot, but I wasn't in a relationship with him, which is great, because if we were in a relationship, I would have ended it. Because it would have been done. Because I'm like, okay, so I just can't see that being, a nice relationship. Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I think you hit it on the head. It's just, I think the biggest thing that comes to mind is that argument that you can't, that politics doesn't define someone. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about values and compassion, to some degree, our political identity is who we are and reflects what we believe in.
It is.
So it's hard for me to want to say continue to be with this person, because based on the question, the way you premise the question, you're having disagreements already, and it's just the beginning of this discovery. So, I mean, if you're willing to go through more and more disagreements on politics, ethics, values, I mean, power to you, but my advice would be to take a step back, ask the questions that Diamond suggested, and figure out whether this is something that you can deal with for your entire life. Mm-hmm. Assuming you're gonna be their partner. But that's tough.
It is. And it's just, and I know, like, my argument is about compassion, and I'm very much aware of Hillary's background and her platform, but I just feel like, based on what President Trump has said, and based on his actions, you did not pick the lesser of two evils at all.
Well, using the excuse lesser of two evils even signifies that you're aware that this person, Trump, is a jerk.
Yes!
Bad, and yet you're so okay with electing them in office, knowing that they have some sort of authority over the nation. Even if it might be just a little bit, they still have some impact and some say. So the fact that you're okay with that, and looking at where we're at today in the news, and knowing the mischief that Trump has been involved in, and you're still okay with it, and you're still defending this person, I would scratch my head.
And it all revolves back to the whole, because it doesn't directly affect you yet. But that's a whole other discussion.
Sounds like privilege to me.
Ooh, of the white variety. No. Okay, girl, I am, this is a discussion I'm willing to have more often, so if you want to keep emailing me, I don't necessarily have to put them on Ask Diamond, because I did have to deal with this, and I'm still technically dealing with it. Like, me and my man friend, we can't even talk about politics or what's happening in the world just because we get in such heated debates. Like, there was a situation on my campus, I go to the U, where someone was putting up flyers about saying that Black people are rapists, and it was just a bunch of nonsense. And it scared me because, one, I'm in a predominantly white area. I have no one here, like none of my family's here, so I can't go, decompress with my dad or talk to my mom about this. I didn't have anyone here, and he was like my rock at the time, so I reached out to him and I explained it. And his response was, "You're not the only one who's going through things." And that is when I realized this man doesn't give a fuck. So we don't really talk about what's happening politically and socially. And I have better friends like Gil who I can decompress and like get those thoughts out, but you might actually realize that after a while, you're not going to be able to have those conversations without it becoming political, because in the back of your mind where their, affiliation is, and it's just going to come out, and they know where you're coming from, so they know how to press your buttons. So I'm sorry, but please keep emailing me if you want to keep talking about it. More power to you. Add me on Instagram.
Exhausting.
Oh yeah.
Mentally exhausting. You're gonna be exhausted.
It's gonna suck. Yeah. But yeah.
Hope you have other friends.
So that wraps up our Ask Diamond. It was a longer video, which I'm glad, because I have not posted in a while. If you would like to submit questions to Ask Diamond, just email me at thediamondroseshow@gmail.com. I do have like around 40 messages right now that I have not even looked at. So I'm going to try to just knock them out. Just make a video and post it every Sunday. And slowly but surely you will see your answer question answered. There you go.
Yeah.
Yay. So thanks again. Like, share, and subscribe. Compassion. I'm going to leave you with that.